Hi, my name's Taylor Toby. I'm an OpenSciEd teacher and facilitator, and I'm going to walk you through Lesson 9 from the 8.4 unit, Earth and Space. What I really enjoy about this lesson is it's a unique look into how students are thinking in terms of cause and effect when they are analyzing the Earth, Sun, Moon system. So, how did we get to this lesson? Previously, we saw that during a lunar eclipse, the moon gets dimmer and redder. And we were wondering what might be causing that change. And we thought, hey, there are other times that we've seen the sun or the moon change in brightness and color. So we wanted to investigate that further. When we look at this lesson, we see that it is a one-day investigation. Prep time takes probably a little less than 20 minutes. Students will be analyzing diagrams, videos, and images. Yes, a device is required. However, you just need a teacher device. You can play the video from the ISS and show the images on your screen, although you can also have it available for students to look at either one-to-one or in lab groups. So taking a brief look at this lesson, students will figure out that during sunrise and sunset, the sun is dimmer and more red than when it is midday. And we wonder what could be causing this. And we create a diagram and model that could kind of help us explain what is going on during these two different times of day. So in this lesson, students figure out that sunlight dims and gets yellow or more orange and then redder the more atmosphere it passes through. That when we see the sun from space up outside of Earth's atmosphere, it appears very bright and white. It's only when it starts passing through Earth's atmosphere that we see this yellow color for the sun. And then as it sinks lower and lower closer to the horizon, we see it change brightness and color. Let's look at a key moment in this lesson. During part 5, we co-construct a model of how sunlight enters Earth's atmosphere. You have the black and white picture here that you hand out to students, and then you annotate together to point out important pieces of this model to help us figure out what might be causing this change in color and brightness. Now, students are going to be combining a bunch of different information from all the sources in this lesson. So having a place to kind of capture what they're noticing will be very helpful. That way they can refer back to it when they are making this model. And I have found that students often have a lot of difficulty and need some support in understanding the difference in perspective from person A and then person B, that they feel right away like, oh, it's the same. But if you have them zoom in and really focus on the direction of the arrows relative to the person's head, then that helps them realize like, oh, the light is coming directly above the person in B, but from a low angle at A, or coming from the side. And then you can start talking about what's the difference there. And then they notice that those arrows in A go through more of the atmosphere than the arrows in B. And that's how we get to navigating to the next lesson. Where do we go from here? Well, we generate a list of variables that could be causing the change, and we feel like it's the amount of atmosphere that's causing this change in color and brightness, and we want to investigate that further in the next lesson. Some material management tips and tricks. When you are co-constructing this model, make sure that students have it on a nice big paper for annotating. I have found that makes it much simpler. You may want to add in some key blanks or spots where you would want students to write things, especially if you feel like they might miss some spots in the annotating because there are a lot of lines on there. If you have access to a poster printer, which would be fabulous, I would recommend printing out a poster version of this to put up annotations after the fact to reference later in future lessons. Otherwise, you can have this up projected on your board and you annotate, and you can take a photo and post that for students to look at, especially if they're absent this day. Poster management for this lesson, you will be referencing the color change poster that you created previously. And there aren't any new posters in the teacher's guide that they suggest you make. However, you can use a poster version of that co-constructed model that you and your students create in part 5. Thank you so much for joining me in lesson 9. I hope your students are really curious to further investigate those cause and effect relationships they came up with in this lesson. And I look forward to seeing you in lesson 10.